Jalen Hurts named Super Bowl MVP and also gets his first Super Bowl ring. Saquon, first season with the Eagles, gets his first Super Bowl ring. Nick Sirianni's Super Bowl ring. A bunch of guys coming out big time to play. A.J. Brown getting his ring. Devontae Smith getting his ring. Josh Sweat getting a lot. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. What a phenomenal season they had as rookies. But this was an ultimate dominant job from the Philadelphia Eagles, shutting down the Kansas City Chiefs, allowing them only 23 yards in the first half. The Eagles had more plays in the first half than Chiefs had total yards. It was utterly ridiculous. So Jalen Hurts, though, big X factor in this one, nearly 300 total yards, 3 total touchdowns. Did have 1 interception. That was a bad decision, but he was pressured, so we don't really care about that. He was named Super Bowl MVP, although the fan vote, which is about 25% of the Super Bowl MVP vote, said Josh Sweat should have won it, which I kind of agree with. But I want to get your take. What was your reaction to the Eagles' dominant win on Sunday?
Well, I've kind of recapped most of that already. I think the key was they came ready to play. They were ready to play. They from the opening snap. They looked good. They looked good the whole game. They never let up. I mean, it was 24-0 at halftime. They came out as if it was 0-0, and in the second half. And I think that the Chiefs, on the other hand, they had a history this year of starting slow, and they did that again this time. But then they just got worse, and Mahomes, those turnovers were just really very poor. The DeJean interception, you should have seen him. Actually, can you play that one again?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one again because look, he throws the ball.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here's the right clip.
Okay.
Rolls to his right.
He throws to his right, but look right behind him. The guy who was trying to throw it to was covered like a blanket.
Yeah.
It might have been, if it hadn't been DeJean picking it off, the other guy might have picked it off.
Maybe.
So it's just very poor decision-making on Mahomes' part. And the other interception right down there by the goal line was very poor as well. I mean, he kind of, it didn't look like it had a chance of being completed anyway.
Let's get back. Yeah,
look at this one. Yeah, it throws it down. It was going to be on the ground before it even got close to the receiver, right? The receiver is past the first down.
It would have been behind him at the very least. It
would have been behind him, and it would have been on the ground, it looks like. So, I don't know. He wasn't ready to play. I don't know why that was. The Eagles, on the other hand, we've been pretty hard on Nick Sirianni all year, but the fans also calling for him to be fired. A few games into the season when they started out so slow and lost 2 games. But after the bye, they figured it out. And I give Vic Fangio lots of credit here. I mean, he had that defense playing better every game. And they ended the season on a roll. They were dominant in the playoffs. Actually, the Rams gave them the hardest time of any team. Rams had an opportunity to win the game near the end there, and it was the defense that saved it for them with Carter making the sack on Stafford right near the end there that really sealed it for the Eagles. So I give the defense lots of credit. I think they were well coached. They had rookies in there, DeJean. They had veterans too. What's the guy that number 55?
Brandon Graham.
Yeah, he was in there. And maybe that was his last game. Brady mentioned him, saying, "Ooh, I don't like that guy." He's the one that knocked the ball out of Brady's hand there, strip sack, when they could have driven for the win in the Super Bowl. So, I just can't say enough good things about the Eagles here. I think if they can continue playing like this, they're headed for a dynasty. They could be a dynasty. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, we'll talk about a Saquon quote on Friday's show, but what's crazy is that I listed my 3 keys to the Eagles' victories, on Friday's show. These are the 3. Don't lose your identity, win in the trenches, and take Travis Kelce away. So let's go down through it. First of all, don't lose your identity. Their identity all season has been, let's run the ball through Saquon and create an effective offense. Even though Saquon couldn't run at all in this game, what happened? He still ran it 25 times. So it didn't matter. He was still a threat at all times because they kept feeding him and feeding him and feeding him. Jalen Hurts also 11 carries, 72 yards, and a push touchdown. Also, they got Saquon involved in the passing game. So Saquon was not just a sitting duck like James Cook ended up being. because they decided to nearly outsnap him with Ty Johnson. Like, that was one of the stupidest decisions Sean McDermott and that offense had. Nearly splitting reps 50-50 with James Cook and backup Ty Johnson. Instead, the Eagles came in and said, you know what? Saquon's going to average 2.3 yards a carry. It's not going to matter. We're going to keep feeding him and feeding him and feeding him because he is our offense. He is our X factor on this team. So we're going to keep making him a threat and see if the Chiefs keep biting, which the Chiefs kept doing a phenomenal job. All credit to the Chiefs' running defense. They did a tremendous job at stopping Saquon Barkley. How about let's go to the next one that I have out here. Winning in the trenches. Offensive line held up, gave Jalen Hurts plenty of time to throw, made some miraculous throws that I'm going to show you in a couple minutes here. The defensive line, enough said right there. Josh Sweat, Jalen Carter. Let's see some other top-tier players. Oren Burks had a couple nice plays. Milton Williams had a tremendous game in this one. But yeah, offensive line. Zach Bond, the linebacker, he had an interception in this game. He should definitely get signed, this offseason. So the Eagles in the trenches, they won 100%. Offensive line, defensive line did their jobs expertly. Now let's go to the last one. Take Travis Kelce away. So let's talk about this one for 2 seconds. Because Travis Kelce, let's bring up his Super Bowl stats in the basically up until Sunday. These were his numbers in the Super Bowl. He wins 75% of his games, 37 targets to 31 catches. He has 87.5 receiving yards in the game in the Super Bowl's 2 touchdowns, and he has 116.6 passer rating when targeted. He was a no-show in the Super Bowl. He had a couple, one or two drops, or you could maybe say that they were thrown behind him, so you wouldn't credit him with a drop. I don't think PFF credited him with any drops, so fully on Mahomes here. But they did everything they needed to do. Check, check, check. They did everything that I thought would be a key to getting this victory. They didn't lose their identity. Saquon ran it 25 times. Jalen Hurts had a couple incredible scrambles in this one. Beautiful pocket awareness. They won in the trenches as well. Defensive line, offensive line won on both facets of the game. And they took Travis Kelce away. Completely a no factor in this game. I do want to talk about Jalen Hurts, though, because I think Super Bowl MVP deserves his flowers more. These throws, these plays were incredible. So let's break it down right now. If we have the clip. Here we go. So Jalen Hurts, this one, kind of under pressure, makes a beautiful throw on a 2nd and 11. Beautiful touch on the football, gets it down to the 1-yard line. What about this one? Beautiful back shoulder to A.J. Brown. How many quarterbacks could do that with this tremendous amount of accuracy? Props to Jalen Hurts through and through. What about this throw? I mean, this was a beautiful touch on the ball. Offensive line held up. Rainbow breadbasket right to Devontae Smith for really the killer, 34-0. And this one, pressure in your face. This was the 1-yard line throw again. I mean, Jalen Hurts played tremendous. We saw him, though. We've seen him in 2 straight Super Bowls put up an insane game. Except this time, he added his legs, which is even a massive factor in this one. Nearly 300 total yards. Offensive line did its job. There was actually one scramble that I didn't have here that I should have included, where I think it was Leo Chanel, if I'm not mistaken. He broke on the left side. The left side of the offensive line broke down. And it almost looked like it would have been a repeat of the Super Bowl 57 strip sack that cost the Eagles the game in that one. But instead, Jalen Hurts' pocket awareness steps up, goes for, I think, 17 yards. I mean, it was a tremendous beatdown by the by the Eagles defensively. And then offensively, Jalen Hurts just made the plays that he has now in 2 straight Super Bowls that he's been to. I thought Cooper DeJean, pick 6, we showed that earlier on in the show, was a second rookie in NFL history to have a pick 6 in a game. Quinyon Mitchell all season being a lockdown defensive back. And by the way, these 2 rookies actually replaced starters. James Bradbury got hurt. That's where Quinyon Mitchell comes in. And Cooper DeJean came in for Avonte Maddox, who got benched. Who, by the way, Avonte Maddox had a pass break on this one on the 4th and 5 to, I think, Hollywood Brown. So everybody came into play. Everybody stepped up in a massive way. Devontae Smith, 4 catches, 69 yards and a touchdown. A.J. Brown, 3 catches, 43 yards and a touchdown. I mean, I think that this is one of the all-time performances just all around in the Super Bowl because there is no asterisks. There is no, our offensive line is filled with backups. Nope, the Chiefs got all their starters out there that they wanted. You could have moved Tooney back to guard and put in DJ Humphries. You could have done that. They decided not to. They rolled with the offensive line that worked in the past couple weeks. So I give all props to the Philadelphia Eagles. Saquon, he nearly had 100 total yards. But where he's a massive factor in is the running game. Did essentially nothing except just be the potential threat, even though the Chiefs had him all game. That's how dangerous Saquon Barkley is if you think about it. You could run in 25 yards. He averages 2.3 yards a carry. and you still blow them out offensively just because the Chiefs had no answers for what the Eagles were doing offensively.
No, well, the overall running game was good for the Eagles. Hurts had 72 yards.
They ran it
Barkley
45
had
times.
57 yards, and Barkley had the 6 catches for 40 yards, too. Most of those coming out of the backfield. So.
He also had like a helmet catch, too, falling backwards. He bobbled the ball. I mean,
I'm happy for the Eagles. I'm happy for Saquon Barkley. I'm happy for Jalen Hurts. He went to Disney World. I saw pictures of him down there. He looked like he was having a good time. I wonder, do you think that perhaps next year is a rubber match? The Chiefs won the first one. The Eagles have won now. Do you think they both get back there?
No. I think that, and we're going to talk about it, I'm sure, in an upcoming show here. Both teams have big-time free agency potential losses. Some very key players. Like, for instance, the Eagles could potentially lose Zach Bond, who had a phenomenal season this year. Oren Burks, I'm pretty sure, is going to be a free agent this year. Brandon Graham may retire. So there's a lot of moving pieces here, and the Chiefs have to take a little, like Trey Smith is going to be gone potentially in free agency. I have to look a little bit deeper on who the exact free agents are. I have them saved somewhere, but I don't have them available for this topic. But we're going to talk about, I'm sure we're going to talk about who will most likely get back to this point, maybe next year or the year after. But Saquon also thinks that why not start of their dynasty? That'll be a Friday topic. A little hint at what we're doing, upcoming in 2 days. But I'm shocked. I picked the Chiefs just because it's a safe pick. Although, I will preface, I said on Friday's show, I'm with America here. My heart was for the Eagles through and through. My heart was with the Buffalo Bills.
Well, my heart and my pick were with the Eagles.
It was a smart pick. Very, very smart pick.
Did I think they were going to win 40 to basically 6?
Yeah.
Because the Eagles put their backups out there, and that's when the Mahomes started bombing it.
Just to add some context, this was before the backups came in.
Yeah.
This was Mahomes' performance after that, before that 12th drive. Yeah. No, I don't think anyone predicted 40 to 22.
Yeah.
Everyone expected it to be a close game. But this is an all-time beatdown. I'm curious, though. What do Chiefs have as an excuse for this Super Bowl? There is none.
No, I agree.
The prior loss, you said you had 5 backups on the offensive line. It got absolutely shredded by the Bucs defense. But this one, you got beaten on the offensive line. You had no running game. Your receivers, besides Xavier Worthy, you had a tremendous game.
Yeah, poor play from your quarterback.
Your quarterback sucked. Your defense couldn't stop really anybody besides Saquon, but it was a no factor because Jalen Hurts had 72 yards.
No running game at all.
I mean, what's crazy is, like I said, the Eagles didn't lose their identity. They ran it 45 times.
Yeah.
And the running backs, the running backs here, 2.3 yards for Saquon Barkley, 1.7 for Kenneth Gainwell.
Huh.
The running backs did nothing. No. 2 yards a carry when it came to the running backs. Jalen Hurts, though, he was the big runner in this one.
Took a lot of time off the clock by doing that.
Time of possession-wise, it was 36 minutes to 23 minutes.
You can't say that the Chiefs beat themselves either. I mean,
early on, Mahomes.
But I'm saying this because they did have the turnovers in the first half, and they were behind 24-0. But it was because of the Eagles' dominance. I mean, the Eagles are dominating them. It wasn't those 2 turnovers from Mahomes. Okay, maybe that's 14 points, right? The Eagles scored 40 points in this game.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and one of them directly went to a touchdown. Cooper DeJean pick 6. Right. And Zach Bond, I think 2 plays later was the A.J. Brown touchdown.
Yeah. So there were 14 points off the turnovers by Mahomes, but they scored 40 points. So. Yeah. They didn't even have to have those, and they still blowing them out.
Yeah, it was an all-time beatdown. Well, one of the greatest Super Bowl victories, I think, just with the amount of weight that's in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs were going for a three-peat, the first three-peat in NFL history.
Yeah.
And by the way, I just want to point this out: the Eagles now have stopped 2 back-to-back three-peats. Patriots in 2016 to 18, and now the Chiefs doing it the past 3 years here. Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching this clip of the Harvey Hour. If you want to watch the full show, you can by clicking the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to take the show with you on the go, it is available wherever you get your podcast. We go live here on YouTube every single Tuesday and Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload a video and whenever we go live.